Also welcome in Virginia Tech. They are with us for the next 30 minutes. Approaching the podium now is Dalton Keene. We'll spend a few minutes with Dalton, then we'll switch off to Reggie Floyd. After that, we'll spend the rest of the time with Justin Fuente, the head coach for the Hokies. As our student athletes and coach get settled, know that we do have microphones floating throughout the room, and as per normal, if the folks in the room would please identify themselves and the agency that they are with, that would be a great help. And we will open the floor for questions now. So who's got the first question today for Dalton Keene? First question, Dalton, will come to your right, first row.
Dalton, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just some words that you would utilize to describe this year's offense as you get set for the season.
Some words I would utilize? The first word that comes to mind is grit. You know, it's something that our strength coaches say a lot and all our coaches say a lot, and it's something that means a lot to all of us. And I think that's something that we really needed to improve on is grit. And that's, you know, the definition they like to use is staying loyal to something you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you. And, you know, that's just something that really speaks to me and the rest of us on offense especially.
Dalton, from the podium, the tight end position may be the deepest core on the team. Would you agree with that? And if so, what makes you guys so deep this year?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, we've had a lot of young guys really develop into the players we wanted them to be. And now that I'm one of those older guys this spring, I was able to take a step back and really coach those guys and help them develop. You know, we got James Mitchell. All the hype about him is legit, 100%. You know, he's one of those guys that he was given everything. He got great athleticism, but he's also one of those guys that is a super hard worker, shows up every single day, and he's someone that I would feel really comfortable having playing next to me.
You mentioned that you're now one of the older guys. As being one of the older guys, does that mean automatically that you have become a leader?
You know, just being old doesn't automatically make you a leader. There's a lot of things that go with that, you know. Game experience is one of those things, but it goes further to work ethic. You know, you can't be a leader if you're showing up late to work out, stuff like that. But that's something that I've been trying to work on a lot this offseason. Really, that's just taking the next step in my game.
Back to your right in the first row with Dan.
Dalton, just what you could say about Justin Fuente as a head coach, just what your takeaways have been from him and his leadership and his ability on this team. Obviously, there was some adversity and injuries and whatnot last year, but just what you've seen from him leadership-wise as you head forward into 2019.
Yeah, and I'll talk specifically on this offseason too. I mean, it wasn't just the players that were, you know, upset about last season. We could tell it hit home with Coach Fuente, and that's something that all of us really respect. And you know, I love having him as a coach. He's a tough love guy. He's going to push you every day, but you know, he's going to love you just as much, which is something I think that's really great about him.
Go to your left with the first row here.
Hey Dalton, Rick Saratella, NFL Draft Bible here. If you could just discuss what your offseason was like in terms of what you wanted to focus on improving in your personal game, and then also two-part question, if you can talk about your quarterback Ryan Willis and just the kind of rapport and chemistry that you've built with him.
Yeah, this offseason, a big thing for me was just getting healthy. You know, I had a minor knee deal. It took me out for a little bit, but you know, again, it was something minor, and now my whole body's feeling better than ever. It was a really good chance for, you know, to get some rest and, like I said earlier, work on some other aspects of my game, like my leadership and, you know, coaching the young guys. That was a really big thing for me. And then Ryan Willis, you know, it's been good to develop some chemistry with him. There's always really good competition at quarterback. You know, we got a bunch of guys there fighting for that job. You know, Ryan's been doing a great job. He's been a good leader this offseason for us.
Dalton, your last question from the podium will be this. Our season will be a success if we what?
Take it one game at a time. You know, we've had our sights set on Boston College from day one of the offseason, and I think if we set our sights any further than that, you know, it's going to be a bust. We'll overshoot it. So we got to focus one game at a time. You know, we'll take care of Boston College, and then after that, we'll move on. So that's the biggest thing for us is, you know, just relaxing and having a small view on the season.